in the basement study area of my dorm building on Saturday night. Everyone's going to the school thing the school's putting on, but I have some work that I have to get done to make sure that I'm ahead for my bio lab, my chem lab, and some other stuff. Some people see that as kind of shitty. I don't mind it. I kind of prefer it. Crowds and loud noise, I don't really mix too well with that. But that's a topic for another video. Today, what I'd like to talk about is the form differences between bodybuilding-centric exercise and powerlifting-centric. I'm going to try to explain it as best I can. It was explained to me by a few parties. I did a little research kind of to get a better understanding of the biomechanics behind how these lifts work. So, in the footage you'll see before this, I'm squatting and benching. It's done on 2 different days. I think maybe I'll throw in some deadlifts too. So starting with the deadlift, which is arguably the most technical of the 3. For bodybuilding, I was used to stiff leg deadlifts. I was told that really targets your hamstrings and glutes. And for a bodybuilder, shaping those areas and making sure they're well developed and lean is very important. A huge component of winning a bodybuilding show is strided glutes. I know that sounds weird, but strided glutes win shows. That's what I was told. So you start there. And with the stiff leg deadlift, your hamstrings and glutes are stretched as you go down. And as they contract and you pull yourself up, it puts a lot of strain on that, which it's really good for developing those areas, but you could arguably get the same effect from a conventional or a sumo. It just depends on if you're paying attention to your cues. So now when I deadlift sumo, and I really concentrate on driving my heels into the ground and really activating that posterior chain before I even pick the bar up. So I grab the bar, pull it towards my body, really drive it into my legs, and then that way I engage my lats, and then I can really feel the tug in my hamstrings as I start to shoot up. And that has helped me lift heavier with better form, really protecting that lower back, because as anyone with a low back issue will tell you, me included, it's really annoying. It bothers you every day. I didn't get mine through lifting or any kind of sports. I was in a car accident. Nico is dealing with that same kind of pain, so is Yanni. It happens to everyone eventually, and it sucks. So make sure to deadlift with good form to not only avoid injury altogether, but to strengthen that area even after you have an injury, you start to feel better. As for bench, a bodybuilder's main concern is activating the chest. You really want to develop a full rounded chest. So most bodybuilders go straight to dumbbells. Dumbbells are great for keeping everything symmetrical and getting a nice kind of evenness to your chest area. For a for a powerlifter, I'm not sure if that matters as much. Bench will still develop full musculature of the chest, but the way a bodybuilder would do it is split it up into 3 different angles. So they'll work pec major on the incline as well as flat, and they think they're working pec minor on a decline bench, but that's not actually true. It's still pec major even though you're hitting it at that angle. You're only going to get pec minor in there if you're doing a contractile exercise that also has this fly component, because your chest is not only responsible for pushing, but it's also responsible for pulling your arms together. So the flat bench is really a staple. Bodybuilders, aren't too strict with the form, and they just want to get in a lot of volume on that. But with a powerlifter, you want to maintain that natural arch in your back so that your entire chest wall, pec minor included, is able to push. Because when your back is flat, you're limited to just pec major rather. As you push, your triceps get into it, shoulders. With that arch, you're keeping everything out of the way and just letting the chest and triceps move that way. Heel drive, when you're pressing your feet into the ground, is also a super important component of that, because that lets you extend that arch. And the final exercise, squats. Squats, super, super important to get the form right on this. Very often I see people squatting with their toes straight out in front of them. I hear it works for some. I don't think it's great. I think you should point your toes out about 30 degrees to give your body some room to move through your legs, because if you're squatting straight up and down, I just don't see, one, how you can produce enough power, because you should be in a stance where you feel like you could jump from. That's how you produce the most power. But people, I don't know, they're just going parallel feet. I don't know. Their form tends to break down, and they can't push as heavy weight. Again, low back, watch out for that on this one. Bodybuilding squats, you know, typically they're the exact same, just with a higher volume. But you'll see in the clips before this, a lot of powerlifting programs incorporate high volume squats, high volume everything really, into the protocol. So you're not missing out on anything by training for powerlifting specific lifts. If anything, as I've learned recently, you're gaining a whole hell of a lot more. You're getting the hypertrophy and you're getting the strength. So it's just something to consider. Maybe you're in a bodybuilding centric training style right now. I would definitely encourage you to hop on any of the powerlifting programs that are consummate with your level of lifting. I would classify myself as, I guess, intermediate. I've only been seriously lifting weights on a consistent basis for about 3 years. More advanced lifters, you know, there are advanced programs, stuff by Lane Norton. I know he's a reputable source. Nico loves him. But yeah, other than that, that's please share the video too. Thank you so much for watching it. Any kind of sharing helps us out. Check us out on Instagram, link in the description. You could see some lifts a few days early. We post some cool stuff. Yeah, just be a part of the community. Join in the conversation. Send us hate mail. Send us positive stuff. You know, we just want to hear what you guys think. So any comments will do. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next video.
You're the only power. You're the only power. You're the only power.